Welcome back to Math 30 Workplace and Apprenticeship. You can start by reading page 133, which is the roots of math, talking about BMI. Now, BMI is a measure to see if you have a healthy weight or not. Here are the categories. So these are the BMI numbers, and this tells you if you are starving, underweight, ideal, overweight, obese, or morbidly obese, according to those standards. So what I want you to do is then calculate your BMI. For example, this would be mine. If I'm about 140 pounds, so to convert that to kilograms, I divide by 2.2 to get my weight in kilograms as 63.6. Then you can either measure yourself, or if you know your actual height in meters, that's fine too. But then this is my height in meters. Divide the two. Remember, you have to square your height in meters, and this gave me a BMI of approximately 22. So then if I look back to my chart, 22, that would put me into the ideal range. Now this doesn't always work for everybody. For example, here's a list of athletes and some movie stars, and all of these people are actually, according to BMIs, obese or at least overweight. So here's one to look at, Kobe Bryant. We all know that he is not actually overweight, but according to BMIs it says he is. Another one that we found that was obese, Tom Cruise, again, not obese, but he does have, his height is less, which will drastically change his BMI. And we have The Rock, also says that he is obese. So there's just some interesting information. Then we're going to try these questions. So go ahead and give them a try on your own. So doing this, you should have found the mean was 77 kilograms. And then moving on to question 2, we want to find the average BMI when the average height is 1.7 meters squared. So we have 77 divided by 1.7 squared and get a BMI of 26.7, which if you look back to your chart, falls right in here, which is overweight. So then we can calculate the next guy, whose BMI turns out to be 26.2, and again also falls in that overweight category. So what other factors should you consider when determining the BMI of an athlete if it's healthy or not? Muscle, good. So again, back to that chart where it showed all kinds of pro athletes and celebrities who work out a lot, muscle mass needs to be considered. BMI is not always the best interpretation of whether somebody is healthy or unhealthy because, again, the height has such a big impact. Also, really, weight doesn't matter. It just depends on how fit you are, things like that. Then we'll try this puzzle. So go ahead for the rest of class. That's what you can work on. So to start this puzzle off, it's a good idea to start by making a chart where you could have your offers and your counter offers. So the first offer we start with is Alan says $100. His brother Steve counter offers at 50. Then you could take the average of those two to come up with the next offer, which is 75. Then Steve is going to counter offer at the average of those two, which is going to be 62.5. So you can figure out the next one by taking the, You can find the next two by taking the average of these. That would go into your next blank, and the next blank would come from taking then the average of these again. So you'll keep going in that way until you reach your answer. Go ahead and try that now. Your answer should end up being 66.69 approximately as the price they settled on.